After receiving the empirically ordered lens, the lens will be placed on the eye and fluorescein will be instilled to evaluate the fit. Let's now move on to look at a few ideal lens fittings. Remember that a Ratten filter can enhance your evaluation, and many times slit lamps have a Ratten filter built in. When you're evaluating the lens on the eye with fluorescein and your Ratten filter, you should look for a few things. First, you want the base curve to be aligned to the cornea or even just a little bit steep. You want the lens to move just a little bit with blink, and in primary gaze, the lens should rest on the lower lid with the pupil above that imaginary line that we drew at the geometric center. Don't forget to check lens translation. While evaluating the lens on the eye, have the patient look down and then lift their upper eyelid. You should see the lens edge approach the upper limbus. This lets you know that the lens is translating and the patient will achieve the desired near vision. Sometimes you'll have a lens that isn't translating enough. When you evaluate the lens in the slit lamp and you lift their upper eyelid to evaluate translation, you'll notice that the lens has slipped below the patient's lower eyelid. To fix this situation, you can increase the lens overall diameter to make the lens interact with the eyelids more to improve translation, or you can increase the base curve radius. This will also increase lid interaction with the lower eyelid so that it is supported when the patient looks down to allow for better translation. Sometimes a patient will have troubles with their near vision. The first step in evaluating and troubleshooting the patient's near vision is to look at where the lower lid is sitting. If a patient has a low positioned lower lid and the lens is resting on the lower lid, when the patient looks down, they may not be able to translate far enough into the near optics of the lens. To rectify this situation, you'll want to increase the lens overall diameter to help move the segment height up closer to the pupil so that when the patient looks down, they can now get below the geometric center of the lens and into the near optics. If the lens is not resting on the lower eyelid, if it is lid attached or moving too much with blink, we can adjust the lens base curve so that it fits a little tighter to the eye, or we can decrease the lens overall diameter so that it interacts with the upper lid less, which makes it more apt to rest on the lower eyelid to improve distance vision quality.